Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Nam Brahmo Vishwaraya Krishnapistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Bhagavan Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarmine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Gacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarmine Samsara Avana Nida Loka Pranaya Karunya Ganadanatam Samsara Avana Nida Loka Pranaya Karunya Ganadanatam Kasya Kalyana Gunana Lakya Alegura Jaganara Vindam Kasya Kalyana Gunana Mahaprabhu Vande Guru Ticharan Aravindam Vande Guru Sri Aravindam Sri Radhika Madhava Pada Madhurya Lila Gunaratanana Sri Radhika Yaya Vivir Pira Britannia, Tatati Daksharati Valavasya, Vande Guru Sri Charan Aravindam, Tatati Daksharati Valavasya, Vande Guru Sri Charan Aravindam. Sakshadhari Jaina Samasta Shastra Rutas Chatha Bhagata Rivasari Sakshadhari Jaina Samasta Shastra Rutas Rivasari Pravoya Priya Evatasya Vande Guru Ticharan Haravindam Pravoya Priya Evatasya Vande Guru Shri Charan Haravindam Sadat Bhagavad Prasada Yasya prasadam nagati tutopi. Yasya prasadam nagati tutopi. Nayam suvam tasya yashastri sanjam. Vande Guru Sri Charan Haravindram.
Nayam suvam tasya yashastri sanjam. Vande Guru Sri Charan Haravindram.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Vishnupada, Satyavada Acharya, Jodhara Satyasi, Simadisi, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada ki jai, discount founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vivrajagacharya Stiltara Satsi Sima Bhakti Sarad Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Dadi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Gado Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Dvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kundra Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Maya Pradhan Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Gamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai All glories of the assembled devotees. Namaste Narasingaya Adamada Daime Anjakashi Purusha Tatangana Talaye Tov Singa Varadov Singa Tavya Tavya Vita Tov Singa Singa Sharanam Pravate
Sharanam Pravade
Avakarakamaram Advata Singam Dalita Hiranyakasiputam Bringam Keshavadatta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Bhagavatam Bhagavate Abdul Shri Ram Kashipu Karupendra
Keshavadatta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavrita
Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Sing along. Ki Jai Prabhupada, Ki Jai. So, moving right along. Ah, te tengo un mensaje para el universo.
Listen, Joshua, listen to you.
Ah,
Listen to you.
Grandinísimo.
Me debo un par de cosas.
Ah,
Me debo un par de cosas.
last.
Hablo más.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Dhanandana Sajjana Zandana Kamala Tira Vanaschari Madhava Kundavihari Ki Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari. Jodhanandana Janadhanjana Veera Vanachari Adhan Madhava Punjabi Hari Radha Madhava Punjabi So, Bhakti Yoga fans, now we're going to read the Bhagavatam, translation and purports by Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, let's take a look. Here's what Bhagavatam is giving us today. So let's look at the Sanskrit. There's no purport for this verse. So it begins Sri Narada Vacha. Sri Narada said, Ekada, once upon a time, or once, Brahmanat Putra, the sons of Brahma, Vishnu Lokam, Yadrichaya, happened to, well, they went, Jagmu's comes later, happened to go to Vishnu Loka. Sanandana Diyo Jagmu, so the sons of Brahma, headed by Sanandana, went to Vishnu Loka, Charanto, Bhuvanatrayam, as they were sort of wandering about Bhuvanatrayam, the three worlds. So that's what it's, so we're beginning a story here. Ekada, typical word to introduce a new story. Like once, so happened that. So we'll chant this. Sri Naruvacha Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Lokang Jadrichaya Sanandana Deyo Jagmus Anto Bhuvanatrayam Srinadu Vacha Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Lokam Jadrichaya Sanandana Deyo Jagmus Sharanto Bhuvanatrayam. It's all yours.
Srinadu Vacha Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Lokam Yarichaya Sanandayo Jagmush
Sanandanadeyo Jagmush
Charanto Bhuvanatrayam
Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Yadichaya
Vishnu Lokam Jadrichaya
Sanandavan Alayo Jamus
Sanandanadeyo Jagmush
Charanto Bhuvanatrayam
Srinarada Uvacha
Srinadu Vacha
Yadrichaya
Vishnuloka Gainesville.
Sanandanadayo Jagmu
Sanandanadiyo Jagmush.
Tomovanagayam.
So, translation, the great Saint Narada said, once upon a time, told you, once upon a time when the four sons of Lord Brahma, named Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, were wandering throughout the three worlds, they came by chance to Vishnu Loka. So,
Where's Jagmush from?
what's that?
Jagmush.
Jagmus, it means they went.
Hmm.
Actually, look at the GM there. It's just, it's the called it's the perfect past tense, where the first syllable is reduplicated. So it's the root is ga or gum, which that's where we get English go. So then gum. And so that's just the way you form the perfect past tense. And for reasons known to Vishnu, they dropped the A from the root. So instead of Jagamuch, it's just become Jagmuch, sort of abbreviation. You can sort of imagine a word that people use all the time, like Jagmuch, they bless your soul. That, words that people use a lot, they just kind of get abbreviated. Like instead of saying got you, gotcha, or something. So it's the same type of sort of phonetic tendency through time. People just simplify things. So it became Jagmus. This year. So, no, any other questions on this?
How do you pronounce this word? Yadrichaya or Yadrichaya?
Technically, Yadurchya. That's the vowel R, which is sort of the Cinderella vowel of Sanskrit, neglected, mistreated. People tend to pronounce it like R-I, like Krishna, but it's actually not. It's actually Krishna. Like you cur or curd. Let's have some curd for breakfast. So that in words like curd or burr, it's cold. The vowel is actually the R. I mean, the spelling is sort of irrelevant in English. So phonetically, that's the vowel R, like perfect. If you think of the word perfect, if you pronounce it phonetically, P-E-R, you'd say perfect, which a lot of people from other countries say. That's perfect. But actually, you would never do that. But actually, it's perfect. Perfect. Like even the word turn, like turn, turn, turn. It's not turn, it's spelled with U, but the vowel is actually the R. Turn.
Speak English.
After all these years. Pues hay tantos años. So anyway, so Krishna. And of course, some places like Latin America, some people say Krishna, which is actually a long I. Anyway, if you'd like to, we're gonna start a GoFundMe for the vowel R, which is so neglected. Yes.
And therefore, do you really think we're really chanting wrong every day when we say Krishna?
Krishna knows what you mean. I mean, I think Krishna perfectly understands your intention. So, and you don't have to be a linguist to go back to God. Yes.
So it bothers me when people say, I remember we went somewhere in 1982, instead of just cutting out the I remember, because that's already implied. So when they say once upon a time, is that different? Or what?
Well, it's just, well, I mean, to say I remember, there are worse things you can do in life than say it. And Ekada, if you know Sanskrit, you just know this is a new story now. It's the backstory. We're going to get the backstory now for Jai and Vijay. But it's just, It's just introducing a new story.
So it's like a transitional phrase or something.
It just means so once. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just, it's telling you that now we're gonna go back in time and we're gonna get a new story. And in this case, obviously the backstory. To explain what happened. So we will read one more verse with no extra cost to you. So may I just read this? Panchashadhai. What's this? Okay, Panchashadhayanarbhava. I mean, they're really into like phonetics. I mean, the Bhagavatam composition. It was. I mean, they had fantastic linguistic ability. So this is clearly just sort of getting into the different sounds of the word. So it's Panchashadhayanar Bhava Purveshamapi Purvaja. You have the Purva and then the Purvaja. So anyway, Digvasanak Shishun Matwa Bhakstau Tan Pratishidatam. Okay, so this is what actually happened. So Pancha Shadha, 5 or 6 years. Then the Ayana, Arbaka. Arba means like a voice, and Abha, like Bas, means like light, like so Abha means looking like they looked like. So they looked like they were just Arba, they looked like they were just boys that were 5 or 6 years old. Pancha Shadhayanarbaka. And they were approaching Purveshamapi Purvaja. And they were even the ancestors of the ancestors. Purva literally means first or before. That's if you look at the PRV, historical linguistics, the consonants tend to be more stable than the vowels. So if you look at the PRV and then in English, it's previous. So Purva it's like of the forerunners of the people that came before, like the ancestors, they were born before so they were born before those who came before. In other words, they're really, grandfathered in. And they're the oldest ancestors. They go all the way back to Brahma. So they're Purvaja, born before those who came before. Digvasana is a nice way of saying naked. They were clothed in the directions.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's like, okay, son, what are you going to wear? I think I'm going to wear north, south, east, and west. So it's just sort of a polite way of saying they were naked. By the way, the English word naked is from Sanskrit. Sanskrit is nagna. So they were clothed in the directions, literally. And Shishun Matwa. So thinking they were just like little kids. So Shishu doesn't always have to mean like baby, like Shishupala, the baby protector. It can mean just like kids, for the kid protector, Shishupala. I don't know how he got that name. So anyway, thinking they were just little kids. Matwa is from the verb man, to think. Like manas, mind. So this is matwa, thinking they were kids, little kids. Dwakstau, the two literally standing at the door. Dwar, which obviously English door, dwarf. And so Dwarka literally means like the gateway city. Gateway city, because it's out in the ocean. Interesting, isn't it? And stau, the AU in stau is the dual form. In Sanskrit, there's singular, plural, and also dual. So stau is the two were standing there at the door. Interestingly, in the famous song of the H.D.Goswamis, Bande Rupa Sanatano, one thing that makes it really phonetically unique and very interesting is that the author divided the six Goswamis into three pairs. And so throughout this whole song, you get AU, like Bande Rupa Sanatanao, Raghu Jugao, Sri Jiva Gopalakao, which gives it like a unique sound. It's really original. So, yeah, Bande. So Rupa Sanatana are two, then Rupa Sanatana, Raghu Yugao, and the two Raghus,
Mm.
Raghunath Bhatta and Raghunath Das. So, yeah, Yuga. Seems like yoga means to link. So Yuga, in this sense, means like two things, like a pair linked together. So Raghu Yugao, the two, the pair of Raghus, and then Sri Jiva and Gopalakal. And Gopalakal means like, if you know Spanish, Gopalito, like little Gopal, because he was the youngest. So the ka is it's like ito in Spanish or iño in Portuguese. So Sri Jiva Gopalito, Sri Jiva Gopalako. Anyway, so that's the AU, the dual form, which I'm sure you will always remember. So Dwakstau, the two standing at the door, Tan, which means them, plural, them, the four Kumaras, Prati Ashadatam, stop them, forbid them to enter. You can still see this in Mayapur, where it'll say like Pratisheda, like, forbidden to pick flowers. They still have to use that word. Pratisheda, in this case, Pratishedatam. And even the Pratishedatam, the last syllable am, is the ending for the past tense for to. It's the dual past, it's a dual ending. So it's all very logical. I mean, so if you know Sanskrit, it's all very simple. Vakstau tan pratyashidatam. So the translation is, although these four great sages were older than Brahma's other sons like Marichi, which is Prabhupada's translation of just saying they were born before those who came before. They appeared like small naked children, only 5 or 6 years old. When Jai and Vijay saw them trying to enter Vaikuntha Loka, these two gatekeepers, thinking them ordinary children, forbade them to enter. So, Prabhupada's purport. In this regard, Sri Madhvacharya says in his Tantra Sara, Vakstau iti anena adhikara twang uktam, which just means the two, he's giving an explanation of the term Dwakstau, the two standing there at the door, the two standing at the door. He says, iti. Iti in Sanskrit is like unquote. It's like the quotation marks. In Sanskrit, they only put the quotation mark at the end because you're supposed to be intelligent enough to know, where the quote starts. So Dwakstau iti anena, by this, adhikarasta tvam uktam, by this, uktam is stated that they were had the right to stand there. Adhikara means a right, like human rights. That they were standing, literally, that they were standing in their rights. That's what's being expressed. And then it goes on. So the purport is that the personal associates of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha Loka are always liberated souls. Even if sometimes cursed or blessed, they are always liberated and never contaminated by the material mode of nature. So that answers the question when they became Gold Cushion and Gold Eye, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, then they were still pure liberated souls. They were just playing their part. They really got into it. I've noticed even in ISKCON Sunday feast plays, the devotees who really get into the parts the most always seem to be the ones that play demons. I mean, they really get into it. I won't speculate on that. So, even if so, Prabhupada says they're always liberated. So that answers the question. Before their liberation to Vaikuntha Loka, they possessed material bodies, but once they come to Vaikuntha, they no longer have them. Therefore, even if the associates of Lord Vishnu sometimes descend as if cursed, they are always liberated. So any questions on this? Yes.
When Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are here, and they're playing these parts, do some part of them know inside that they are, or they are unaware of it?
We talked about that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. They don't show that they know. So either they're really staying in character or they don't know. In a sense, you could see Krishna using Yoga Maya to make them forget because he wants them to really get into it. Not like they attack Krishna and then one says, "Oh, sorry, Krishna, I was just, I didn't mean, I hope I didn't really hit you." So Krishna, he wants a real fight. He wants it to. So he probably makes them forget because we have no indication that they're thinking like actors. I'm just playing this part. They never say anything like that.
I have. It seems to me, even there's a play, there are people suffering for this place,
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because Hiranyakashipu is interesting. Well, sometimes like Kamsa, for example, he's actually killing babies. So I think we can assume that there are two possibilities here. Either the little kids were also part of the place, they didn't actually suffer, or they were really kids with very bad karma. Because it's one thing to say that someone who's directly in touch with Krishna must be a devotee, but when Kamsa ordered his guards, it wasn't even Kamsa. When Kamsa ordered his guards or soldiers to kill the babies to make sure that Krishna was killed, his soldiers were not necessarily all great devotees. So, yeah, there's a lot of killing in the end of Dwapara Yuga. Kurukshetra, even the Yadus fratricidal wars, it gets a bit violent. Like when Jarasandha attacked Dwarka with millions of soldiers, and Krishna it's funny, Jarasandha was never discouraged. He just went back home, got another army. So, yeah, from Krishna's point of view, he's displaying his pastimes. So exactly what all the details are, who gets to play what part, the person playing this part, do they know that or they only know this? It's just, those are all details. But the basic point is Krishna manifests like this super Broadway production, literally a cast of millions. And so he just arranges it all by his Yoga Maya.
Can we say that in one point, we're also part of the play, even though we're paying our karma, but we're also part, isn't the whole material world contingent being a play in some way,
Well, if you're a devotee, even in this world, then yeah, because Krishna's pastime is to help the world by coming as Lord Chaitanya. So if you're helping Lord Chaitanya, then you're definitely part of his pastimes. Yes.
The other day you mentioned some verses, like to get specific location of those.
Today?
No, a few days back. And it was with regards to where Krishna says that you turned from me.
Oh, that's fourth canto, chapter 28, verses 53 and 55.
428, 53.
And 55. Not 255, 53 and 55. Oh, we have a question there. Oh, Brahmatirtha. Did Kamsa et al., there's Kamsa and all his friends, obtain bad karma for their deeds Not according to what Prabhupada just said. But of course, doesn't mean, I mean, at least for Kamsa, Kamsa directly fought against Krishna. And Prabhupada did say that all the people, so he says, even if the associates of Lord Vishnu sometimes descend as if cursed, they are always liberated. So then it's a question of, well, descend as if cursed is obviously Jai and Vijay, because they descended as if cursed. But Kamsa wasn't necessarily cursed. So does this apply to Kamsa? He did. I mean, it's interesting. Kamsa's personal contact with Krishna was very brief. It's only during the time in the wrestling arena where Krishna had to fight these wrestlers. And of course, Kamsa was in the press box. You know, Kamsa was up on top of the stadium in, you know, the luxury seats for royalty. And then when Krishna killed all the wrestlers, Krishna and Balaram, Kamsa, as the saying goes, went crazy and started ordering, kill Krishna, kill his parents, kill my father. He just basically went berserk. And then Krishna had had just about enough. So then Krishna just raced up the steps, up to the top of the stadium, and I think just threw him off the stadium. It's pretty dramatic, isn't it? I mean, imagine a modern stadium. You go all the way to the top row and then take someone and just throw them off onto the field.
My question, they were liberated. It's understood in so many different ways. No? I mean, because they use a lot in the Bhagavatam, no? Liberated, but it doesn't mean the same thing every time that word.
No, in fact, it said that the people Krishna killed take impersonal liberation. But then again, Krishna killed Jai and Vijay 3 times. That means the first time he killed them, they didn't merge. Maybe they merged until the second time. But the second time he killed them, they didn't merge. And the third time they killed him. It's interesting because people could see Shishupal emerging, but I think that was just sort of like a prop. You know, it's like theatrical. Because because that's stated in many places, they actually came back to their position as doorkeepers of Vaikuntha. So even if they merged, that was also theater. Yes?
I have 2 questions. Here it says, before their liberation to Vaikuntha, Loka, they possessed material bodies. But once they came to Vaikuntha, they no longer have them. Therefore, even if the associates of Lord Vishnu sometimes descend as if cursed, they are always liberated. To me, I read this and what I understand is they were in the material world already before they became doorkeepers.
Well, no, because they were liberated. This may refer to the 4 Kumaras. Let's see what it said. Oh, no, you're right. It says, even if sometimes cursed or blessed, they are always liberated, never contaminated before their liberation. Yeah, but they were, if Jai and Vijay, let's say, were at one point conditioned souls, then they were liberated, then they were cursed.
Yeah. The question is, am I understanding this? That it's potentially saying that Jai and Vijay were once conditioned souls
That's
before
what
they became Jai and Vijay?
That's what it seems to say.
Just again, further kind of like building this case in my mind. Right, we were there. Right, like we were there.
Where?
And in the spiritual world already, and we came here, and hopefully it's just the one time we have to come here, and when we go back, we might participate in Leelas, but like we won't become conditioned again.
Yes.
Jai. Second question.
Yeah, so one time you come, and of course, when you come one time to this world, then you get multiple bodies.
Yeah, a large stunt. Okay. Second question is, I don't know if I've only heard this or if I read it somewhere, but also aren't in our particular Kali Yuga with Lord Chaitanya, aren't Jagai and Madai also Jai and Vijay?
Apparently.
So in this particular cycle, when they merge here, they still come back for a fourth time.
Well, what were the first three? It was Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and then
Dantavakra, Shishibam,
Dantavakra,
and Shishibam.
and what?
Shishibam.
No, I think it was in Ram Leela,
Ravana,
Ravana,
Kumbhakarna.
Kumbhakarna.
or the second.
Yeah, so I guess they maybe like sometimes there's performance, you get a big ovation, they come back out on the stage, or okay, or like yeah, well, they always do that. Like, okay, we'll sing one more song. Like the concert, there's a big ovation, so they come back on the stage and do another song.
Ovation, really?
Anything else? Going. Yes. And by the way, we have the two Gargamunis
Oh,
in the same place at the same time. You may want to get out your cameras.
So how do you get that gig? I mean, is it like they're saying they're willing and they want to do it, or Krishna convinces
I don't know.
them to do it?
Krishna chooses his cast,
Uh-huh.
He just, yeah, we don't hear about Jai Vijay auditioning for this role. Yes.
So Prabhupada gave the example that just like the sun is rising here and setting somewhere else. So Prabhupada said that when Krishna's Leela is it is end in one universe, it's beginning in another universe, and then when it ends in that universe, it's beginning. So
Yeah.
are some of the eternal associates of the Lord happy to be with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the material world eternally?
Well, eternally, it's not something which is really covered. I mean, you could look in the Chaitanya. Sometimes the Chaitanya Charitamrita explains these things. It's not in the Bhagavatam.
But it also explains that for some advanced souls, they actually have multiple bodies. They have a body in Krishna Leela and a body in Chaitanya Leela.
Really, where's that stated?
Somewhere in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Well, if you can find it, let me see it. Be interested to see it.
Do you want to talk about current events on the camera or off camera?
Current events.
Something dramatic just happened.
You mean the war?
Yeah. Did you know about it?
Yeah.
Already? Okay. Never mind then.
Invasion of Iran. So,
Bombing, not necessarily an invasion.
Well,
Bombing the missiles production facility.
yeah, that's a type of invasion.
Okay.
So, any other questions? Okay.
No, because I still, anyway, I think we went to for study more, but to understand the word liberation every time we see it, this is
Well, there's 5 kinds of liberation.
but when they say liberation, they don't say which liberation they're talking. Many times they just say the word liberation.
Well, Prabhupada always says when it's demons that are killed, it's impersonal liberation. But then in the case of Jai and Vijay, they went back to Vaikuntha, so it wasn't really impersonal liberation. So, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.